So, welcome back to a video. I have been filming videos once again very often and frequent, and the lighting is this like purple lavender kind of pinkish color. It makes the purple lip gloss that I have on look gray, but I promise it's not gray. It's it's purple. It's this color, but you probably actually won't be able to see it because, hold on, let me see if yeah, it's that kind of color. It's like pink purple kind of thing. That's how it looks. But yeah, it just looks gray with all the purple. Anywho, yeah, hi, it's me again, it's Raquel. And it's currently October 5th, 2021, and it's 5 o'clock in the evening, and it's not really, it wasn't a very good day out today. It was very rainy. Can you believe it's already October? That's so wild. But at least my hair looks nice in the lighting, so yeah, so hi, it's me. This is gonna be a life update. So many things. I have so many videos. I have so many videos that I have filmed. I honestly, I think, maybe not last week, but the week before that maybe, I filmed like 4 videos in one day, and then like yesterday I filmed like 5 videos. Like, I just have been on a video spree, and I guess a life update in the sense of myself. I've been struggling a lot more with the hair pulling and skin picking, like a lot more. I'm starting to kind of lose my eyebrow again, mainly this one, but because this one seems a lot thinner, at least on camera here it seems a lot thinner than this one. This one seems thicker, so that's annoying. But, so I have to really kind of figure out my anxiety and try to use skills, keep my hands busy. I noticed that if I chew on ice cubes, which I do, which aren't good for my teeth, but chewing on ice cubes helps, or just eating something cold helps, like a popsicle or ice cream or something. Playing on my Switch helps because it keeps my hands busy and it keeps my mind somewhere occupied elsewhere. Sometimes listening to scary stories actually increases the anxiety in a sense, or the anxiety I get between trying to keep myself awake instead of falling asleep because I shouldn't be sleeping during the day and all of that jazz. But it's kind of like, well, if I'm sleeping, I can't be pulling. But right now, I'm trying to stay awake during the day because of some other stuff that's happening that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And yeah, there's just been a lot of picking and pulling. And right now, I'm filming this video so that I can also stop doing picking and pulling, so it's kind of a mess, but we're working on it. And I might even watch back some of my videos because I don't know, I feel like when I've made a video, particularly with the hair pulling before, like, and I talked about it, then I like stop for a while, like I stop the behavior for a little bit, or it's more manageable. And I don't necessarily know why I'm allowing myself to have these forms of self-harm that I still engage in. I mean, like, if I pull my eyebrow out, like, I can't really go to the hospital for that. I think scalping is a little bit different because I'm actually dealing with, like, skin and scabs and stuff. Like, that could be infected, so that's a little different. But for my eyebrow, like, I can pull out my eyebrow, but, like, I won't be hospitalized for that. So I don't exactly know why I'm still lingering with these more minor forms of self-harm, or moderate forms of self-harm than, you know, the other things that the scratching and stuff like that. So I don't really know why I still allow myself to do it. And even sometimes I'm doing really well, and I'll do that. I'll engage in the behavior anyway. So I don't necessarily know what that's about. I probably have to do. I was gonna do a chain analysis on it like this past weekend, but then I never did. So I don't know. Also, in terms of treatment stuff, I've been doing therapy weekly again, and I can also get into why that is. And also, I guess it's going to be a smorgasbord kind of video, but yeah, I'm seeing my therapist weekly, and one of the things she wants me to do before the 18th of this month, she wants me to do more safety plans because That's something I have to do, and I have to learn the structure and the timing myself with things and everything. So in the sense of like, you know, having my goals for the day, and I honestly, I haven't really been doing that either, to be honest. Like, I made my weekly, this is my bullet journal. This is the one that I put my bullet journal in, and I made like, I actually did this the end of September. I did a whole spread about beating procrastination and tips and stuff. And then I did, my week, so for instance like this, but I really like didn't like, I really like refused to actually look at it. So like each day I was just kind of going by the seat of my pants kind of thing, and I wound up doing this drawing that I actually have on Instagram, and I really quite like it. It's more of an art therapy kind of thing. But the question and title for it is, how can I self-reflect without being ignored? Because I kind of like do that thing where like I'll just go, like for instance, in the morning when I wake up, my behavioral routine is like watch a YouTube video while I'm eating breakfast, and then go up into my bedroom, which is here, and then I crawl into bed or put a blanket on, turn the fan off, and then continue watching YouTube videos, and then from there I want to falling asleep for a couple of hours, and like that's kind of like my routine of things. So, but in my head, like there's the recovery Raquel part of me that's like, yo, we should be reading a book, we should be, you know, making phone calls, we should be writing like blog posts or reviews or whatever, we should be making a video, we should be editing a video. That's a huge one, editing a video. And I just kind of like, I have that voice in my head, but then I'm also like, nah, like I just like shut up, like just let me procrastinate and waste my time and all of that. I have a journal entry that I did about wasting my time, like thought challenges, and I never actually filled them out. I wrote them down, but I never like challenged the thought, so maybe I should reframe that soon. But I did this little drawing, which is kind of just about that, like how do I move on, I guess. And speaking of moving on, we can talk about Faye. Faye is now the name I'm using to talk about the situation with my loved one, the little probably longer mini-series I'm doing. I still can't tell you guys like what my relationship is to Faye, or you know, their specific pronouns and such, so I'm just using the they them. Sorry, I need a drink. So yeah, I can't tell you my like relationship to them, but I can say that it's, well, I'm dealing with it better. I definitely had a good inspirational kind of thing with it yesterday after I processed, which are a whole set of videos that I'm probably gonna try to keep linear and chronological, so I have to work on editing very soon because I'm not gonna be able to edit for a couple of weeks. So on the 18th, starting on the 18th, I won't be able to edit, not until like the Sunday, or maybe even Sunday, unless it's shorter videos. I don't know. But these are the goals essentially that I made for this week, the spread, and I haven't really looked at it, to be honest. Okay, so let's like shift gears. I can tell you, let me tell you about why I'm not going to be able to edit videos starting October 18th to pretty much Halloween. So I am in between jobs at the moment. I came up with a new name for the new job I'm going to be working at. So my current job that I've worked at since the end of September 2019 is trauma-informed residential for youth. So I work with ages 3 to 12 primarily. Sometimes teenagers, but it's not like my, you know, I don't always work there. I've largely been working with a 3-year-old for the last, well, since June of this year, so. So, I have worked there, and that name of the place is called Amaryllis, which is quite a nice name. It's a flower, I think it's a flower. And I worked there, like, I was only ever relief staff, like per diem, and I worked there like at first like once a week and then up to twice a week, but mainly second shift. And then this year I kind of switched more to just the weekends, because I'm per diem, so I don't get as much, picking of my hours and such. So, but it's like a traditional 8-hour shift kind of thing. So I went from nights to morning, weekends, all of that. And I just, since like June 2021, when I started talking to my friends online, Delilah and Imogen, I started talking about how I wanted to do the kind of like my other dream jobs and career goals and things like that. And I got very like, kind of like, just burnt out and stuck and like feeling unfulfilled at my current job, and kind of being like, you know what, I think I need to act. I mean, it's kind of, well, so there's actually been a few people who, I mean, there's obviously been people in the past who've moved on and like went on to a different job and stuff like that. And then there were a few people that I knew that had, started around the time I did, or had been there for longer, and then they tried to leave, and a couple of them left, but then some of them came back. So then it was me starting to think like there was some sort of vortex in Amaryllis where like people like keep coming back. Like you try to leave but you can't because it's not what you thought it would be, so you come back and then it's like, I don't know. But it's not like I didn't really believe like a superstitious kind of thing to it. It was just like that's like uncomfortable. Like I don't want to be doing this job for like the rest of my life, so it's like, ugh. But can anyone actually get out and do something else? I don't know, but hopefully I'll be one of them who can. In August, there was so back in 2016, I'd say almost around, well, probably like spring 2016, because I made my YouTube channel back in end of 2016 in December. So I'm almost 5 years on here, which is strange. But back in like spring 2016, I wanted to be a mental health worker in a psych hospital. That was my dream. Like after I graduated from college, I wanted to go on and do that. By the time I wound up graduating from college, I had very non-existent work experience. So I did apply once there and didn't get it, never heard anything. And then I think I applied during the pandemic, because my original goal for Amaryllis was only to work there for a year, but then the pandemic happened, and then it was like, oh okay, like there was a whole other like curveball. So I wound up staying there 2 years, and then in August of this year, the place that I had thought about for the mental health work in a hospital setting, in inpatient psych unit, they opened up another location, and my mom had found out about it, and so I applied to it. I got interviewed, which was the furthest step I ever got, and then I wound up actually getting a job offer. So I have accepted the job offer, and I'm nervous, I'm anxious, but I'm also like hoping that it's gonna be something I actually like, because I don't know necessarily, but like the new place that I'll be working at, I'm calling Althea, and it's going to be intense. Because I mean, it's not too bad. Like I'm not working at the new location, but I'm working at the original one, which is fine, because it's fine, but it does come with its own challenges, because I have actually been a patient there. Like the last time I was there was like 4 years ago, so there's that kind of thing, which is, like, was that 4 years ago? Yeah, it had to be, because it was, yeah. So I was last there as a patient before 4 years ago, and then before that I was there once in 2015, and I think I was there another time, I swear, but I don't remember when. And so sorry, I just got an alert. So I have been a patient before, And so I'm a little nervous that, I mean, I largely have positive, pleasant experiences at Althea, so I don't think it's going to be a lot of negative triggers. I think it'll probably be positive triggers. There is obviously the chance that I might see someone who worked there before as, like, the job title I'm going in as, or I'm not a therapist or anything, but so there might be some of that, maybe. But I'm also going to be wearing a mask, so I don't know how well I'll be recognized, if I ever am recognized and such. But it is a 24-hour shift, and it's alternating day, night, and weekends. Alternating weekends. So, yeah. Basically how I feel about it, I'm excited. I think I got a little too excited when it came to, like, the job offer, because I was immediately like, oh, is this a job offer? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, I'll go for it, yep, I'll take it. And it was, you know, because I never got that far in the process, you know, I was excited. But it is going to be challenging. I think it's probably going to be challenging in even more ways than I'm even ready at the moment for, in a sense. Like, just like the thought of it is like, wow, that's going to be intense, you know. But I think, I mean, it definitely has its perks. For instance, like, Althea will be a little bit higher pay, and Althea will also not have, like, I won't have to do off-grounds, like, driving stuff. I mean, I'm still probably going to have to challenge myself to do that, because I'm going to have to overcome my driving anxiety so that I can move on to other careers, which eventually I would do. My plan going into Althea would be there for about a year, you know, a year or maybe 2 years, and then go into certified peer specialist. To work more with advocacy and just peer-related work within the mental health field. So that would be my plan. But, you know, it would get me further in the door and further along back kind of on the path that I thought of myself of having years ago. So it's kind of, it works in that sense. I also, it doesn't have the driving aspect to it. I would only have to go to that one location. Then there would be the cooking aspect. I wouldn't have to cook, not unless I'm making something for myself, but I think they have, like, snacks and stuff, to be honest. So I have to ask a bunch more questions, but I wouldn't have to, like, cook a meal for the clients, so, like, the people that the population I'm working with. So that would be a perk. And then also the cleaning thing. The cleaning would be a perk, because right now at the residential, like, we, as the title of the person that I am, as the worker that I am, we have to do, like, mopping and cleaning and doing the dishes and, like, all of that. I mean, you might have to do the dishes maybe, but primarily in a hospital setting, that's going to be taken care of by other people with other job titles and such. So it's really going to be a lot more, like, client-patient focused. And it's going to be very challenging in the sense that it's going to be an inpatient psych unit, so people are coming in who are suicidal and self-harming and homicidal maybe. So it's going to be intense. So it's going to be intense in that way. It's going to be very challenging in that sense. It's been a long time since I really, like, incorporated myself into that kind of thing, so it's going to be potentially very triggering, so I have to, that's why my therapist wants me to come up with a bunch of safety plans before I go into it, so that I'm not completely thrown off guard. And the training is 2 weeks, so I'm going to be doing that October 18th to, like, after Halloween, Monday through Friday, like 8 a.m. to 4, that whole week. And so, I don't know. I mean, I heard it definitely is. Althea is a very good place. Like, they are very, very nice. They're, and again, even from my own personal experiences of being there, like, lived experiences wise, they're very good. They're very thorough. I've heard the training is very, very thorough. Like, the training is very, like, they're very good. So that's really good. It's definitely, like, for instance, in the sense of, like, to get an idea of a psych hospital, at least within the Massachusetts system, there's one type of hospital setting that I've been in, which is kind of notorious for not being the best, and it's pretty shitty, and it's, like, essentially the difference from, like, a shitty place, psych hospital place, versus, like, Althea kind of place is, like, Althea, if there's a situation happening, like, they separate you, like all the clients go to one location and they deal with whatever problem is happening and like de-escalation, things like that. The other shittier hospitals are more like, here's a front row seat to watch all this shit happen, and like it's just not regulated. It's just like every man for themselves in a sense, you know, and there's, you know, a lot of stuff can happen. There was actually one, I think it was the time I was at UNC, and there was talk of a story that had happened where people actually had like sex in a room, and like nobody, like, I don't know, it's wild, but it's just random. It's just a random story, but I think I've heard that after residential and stuff too. But anywho, so yeah, Althea is what I'm going into now, in a sense. I definitely am trying to figure out. I think for me personally, I think I tend to be probably because I was in university for so long and like within the school system and such. I think I tend to be more book smart in a sense. Well, I'm not even that smart for books, but like I didn't have the best grades. But I think ultimately I'm more book savvy, like studying and like not even that, but like, you know, reading up on things, analyzing things, like, you know, writing papers. I'm very good at the written form. I definitely struggle when it comes to like face-to-face, in the moment interactions and like social cues and like just like having a script in the moment. That's something I'm not good at, and I also don't have, at least before Amaryllis and such, I just don't have a lot of years of work experience. I always kind of skated by and got around that. Avoidance. So there's that. I'm nervous in the sense that I've never done something like this before, except the one time I was briefly working in the mental health system in the prison setting, so briefly. Which is actually one of the last times I went to Althea, to be honest. It was right around that time. Yeah. Maybe I went in June. Did I wind up there in June? I don't know. But, yeah, that was something. I did that once. That wasn't very good. But it's just, I'm anxious. I'm anxious and nervous, and just, I hope it's gonna be okay, and I have to figure out my plans and just my structure, and like, you know, that's why I have to kind of stay awake during the day, because it's gonna be a lot. Like, so for me, my point was that I was trying to say, I don't tend to know how I'll handle things, because I tend to think, oh yeah, I'll be able to handle that, like lift something like 25 pounds, I'm like, yeah, I can lift something that's 25 pounds, and then I go to lift something that's 25 pounds, and I'm like, oh shit, no, I can't. Like, I just don't, I think that I can do it, but then when I'm actually in it, I'm like, no, I can't do it. So the way I'm thinking of it right now is like I'm still wanting to keep Amaryllis for a little while. It's obviously going to be easier once I know more of my schedule and stuff like that with Althea. But yeah, I definitely can't keep both. Like, I'm trying to figure out if I should not work, because I'm only a 1 day a week at Amaryllis now. So I'm wondering, can I really make it through 5 days of like training and then report like early in the morning trainings and then report to work at Amaryllis the next day on a Saturday, and then have 1 day off and then go 5 more days, and then, you know, so it's like, should I take that first Saturday off? Should I take the second Saturday off before Halloween? Like, I haven't figured that out. But I don't think it's possible that I'll be able to do both jobs during the holiday season, so I have to kind of figure that out. I think maybe middle of November would probably be fine, and then kind of transition out from there. But that's also conversations I have to have with my boss and everything too. So it's a process. So life update, yeah. So I would say I'm gonna try to end this here. But that's kind of like more about kind of like job stuff, I guess, and a little bit about Faye and how I'm gonna be about, I think that's how you pronounce their name now, Faye. I think it's Faye. Faye, and so the future videos I'm going to be doing about that, I'm going to be really making a bunch more videos for that series, to sort of document where I'm at with things, and, you know, just the things I'm doing, creating and such. And I'm going to try to get into some books. I'm going to film a video where I'm going to do my review for a bit on my blog, see how that goes, behind the scenes kind of thing. And I've decided if I'm going to try to go to the library today. I want to go see a movie tomorrow, so I'm probably going to go do that. And I will probably do some gaming tonight too, because gaming. And yeah, so essentially the other thing I wanted to say is, like, I'm going to try to have to edit as much as I can from what videos I can this week and next week, because the next 2 weeks, the 2 weeks after next week on the 18th, I won't be able to really edit, so it's gonna be too much, unless I'm doing like a short video, which I might try to do, but I don't know, it'll depend on how it all goes. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. I'm hoping that I can find out what's going on with my friend Gretchen, and I have to figure out if I'm gonna go try to stop by a support group tonight for OCD. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Alright, so that was a life update, and it was kind of a smorgasbord. It's my new favorite word, smorgasbord. It's a smorgasbord of things. And I need to transition my fall clothing, like, very badly. But yeah, that's all I got. Yeah. Okay, so, and I hope that you got something out of this video and that it was okay. I honestly don't know how people do it, how you do the grind when you're getting, like, you know, that many things back and such. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make things short either. I don't know how to do that. So just at an impasse, pretty much. So anywho, thanks for watching, and thanks for being here, and I'll see you very soon. As always, stay safe, take care, be well, much love and light to you, and yeah, I'm gonna try to tackle some of the shit that I'm avoiding. So, sounds good. Alright, bye-bye.